Adam Delapiana, son of Christy and Ben Delapiana from Berwick, Maine, is a valedictorian of the class. Adam's academic accomplishments have been impressive from start to finish, completing 13 college or advanced placement courses in 4 years. He played on the varsity football team for 3 years, served as captain of the basketball team, and placed 4th in the state in 2012 as a javelin thrower and 2nd this year. Adam also completed his Eagle Scout badge last year. He received a full 4-year scholarship to the University of Utah. Prior to attending college, he will serve a 2-year mission in Sao Paulo, Brazil, for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Ladies and gentlemen, Adam Delapiana.
Short. All right, there are several people that I'd like to thank tonight before I begin. I'd like to thank my parents and siblings for providing me with a loving home to grow in, my grandparents and cousins for traveling from as far as Utah for this weekend's events, Mr. Gould for always offering a fresh, liberal perspective during class discussions, and Mr. Patton for paying me to include that in my speech. The list goes on. I'm extremely humbled by my opportunity to share my thoughts with you tonight. I think it's funny that we have the student with the highest grades give a commencement address, as if scoring well in physics qualifies me to address my peers alongside our families and educators as we celebrate an event that represents such a major crossroad in each of our lives. I've learned a thing or two in the classroom, but when it really comes down to it, Green's theorem or the first law of thermodynamics are only going to get us so far in life. Sorry, Miss Warner, nothing against thermodynamics. And even though I'm sure all of you would love to sit through a lecture on multivariable calculus, fortunately, it's the lessons outside the classroom that I've learned that I get to share with you tonight. I sometimes ask myself a question that I think we must all consider at some point in our lives, and that is, what matters most? In this world, we are subject to the influences of powers outside of our control. In the spectrum of time, we are a blip on the timeline, another drop in the ocean of humanity, at the mercy of the swells and winds of a world that can often leave us feeling powerless and directionless. My grandfather gave me a book by scholar and humanitarian Lowell L. Benyon, which addresses this issue, saying, quote, "Within this larger context of total reality, I live in a second world, a world of values. It is a life of my own choosing and building. I choose the things which I prefer, things I desire, things precious to me. I place value on them. They become the things that matter most." Close quote. Whether we decide it consciously or not, each of us have things that we value the most. Every decision we make is based on those values. From the friends we pick, to the way we spend our Friday nights, to what we purchase at the supermarkets. All these decisions we make by weighing the consequences of our choices in comparison to what we value. As we decide on our individual values and live by them, life gains purpose, and we can each gain a sense of individuality as what we value comes to define who we are. Okay, so here's the catch. I can't tell you what to value. It's your life, not mine. With that in mind, tonight I'd like to share with you some of my personal values. As Benyon said, quote, "Not to impose them, but to stimulate you to assess your own personal values. For whatever your personal values are, they are the essence of the meaning of your own life." Close quote. There's a painting that hangs on my living room wall that inspires me because of the story behind it. The painting depicts a young man named James Kirkwood as an 11-year-old pioneer immigrating across the plains of Wyoming in the year 1856. James was responsible for his younger brother Joseph, while his widowed mother and older brother pulled the handcart carrying the family's meager belongings alongside his crippled brother Thomas. During a blizzard in mid-October, James and Joseph became separated from the family and came into camp late. Upon arrival, James collapsed and died due to starvation and exhaustion, having exerted his last energies to ensure Joseph's safe arrival in camp. The painting shows James carrying his younger brother on his back, eyes trained forward, putting his brother before himself in an act of selfless charity. Joseph went on to live to the age of 76, this due to the efforts of a loving older brother. When I see that picture and think of James's gesture of compassion to give his life to save his brother, it causes me to reflect on how I am spending my life. It's not likely that I will ever be asked to give my life to rescue a friend or brother, but that doesn't mean I can't give my life to my family each day through selfless service and love, to be there to lift them up when they feel weak. Charity, selflessness, and family are values that I believe in. I've had several friends and family members pass away in the past few years. I learned a different value from each one of them. From a coach, I learned the value of the small victories. From a teammate, the value of resiliency and lightheartedness. Rub some dirt on it. A great-grandmother demonstrated to me the reward of unconditional love. And I learned from a friend not to take life too seriously. As I pondered their passing, I thought this, that I would make sure all my friends and family know how much I care about them every day by the way I talk, act, and live. I realized that you never know how much someone needs to hear how important they are to you, or when it will be your last chance to express your love to them. I value making sure my family and friends know that they don't have to be separated from me for me to always love and care about them. The value I have learned from them is to always make sure my friends and family know how valuable they are to me. I started a document a couple months ago to record the things that I wanted to say in this speech. I wish I had 45 minutes because there are so many more things that I could share with you tonight about the importance of education, hard work, resiliency, etc. But with this opportunity tonight, the one thing I want to tell each of you is that you are valuable. And that value is infinite. It is impossible to quantify your worth and your potential. So, what matters most? Determine your values and live them. Value yourself. Live like you value yourself. Know the values of those around you and help them know it. A wise rabbi taught, "Who is exalted? He who makes others feel glorious." Class of 2013, know your worth and make others feel glorious. Thank you very much.